Presenting our national officials of this match. First referee, Mr. Herbert Matematico. Second referee, Mr. Ryan Vincent Corpus. Now let's call on the starters for the Philippine Army Troopers. Starting off with their team captain, Staff Sergeant Benjailo Labide. Jersey number 4, Corporal Antonio Torres. At number 7, Private Carlinico Ramirez. Jersey number 12, Private First Class Patrick John Rojas. At number 18, Private Mark Christian Enciso. Jersey number 19, Private Kevin Liberato. First libero is number 6, Corporal Jason Uy. Head coach is Staff Sergeant Melvin Carolino. Introducing the Navigators Iloilo starting lineup. Starting off with their team captain, number 4, Jerome Michael Cordes. At number 2, Dean Neil De Pedro. Jersey number 6, John Michael Apolinario. At number 13, Fena Guaza. Jersey number 14, Rash Nursidik. At number 21, Jade Alex Desquitado. Libero is number 1, Rick Adaw. Head coach is Mr. John Kenneth Panes. This is match number 19 between Philippine Army Troopers and...
Look at the starting 6 for Coach Melvin Carolino. No change whatsoever. Patrick Rojas coming off a 16-point performance. Backstop by Mark Enciso's 13 points. First double-digit output for him in the Open Conference. In the meantime, 5 players in this lineup in double digits. De Pedro with 11, 17 for Cordes. Guaza with 14, Nursidik with 10, and Desquitado with 12. So a very solid lineup for Coach Kenneth Panes and the Navigators.
Well, you know, strong start actually for both teams, even for Army. We have to mention in the previous conference they didn't fare as well. So yeah, it looks like they're gelling. Speaking of Army, they're gelling a lot better this conference. So again, we are expecting a good game today.
And off we go here in the opening set of your Sunday triple header. And what a start! Liberato with the first point of the opening set. He had 7 in that win versus Vanguard.
It was, he wasn't really properly scouted. We didn't hear a lot of Liberato prior to the conference, and he is impressing a lot of fans.
Guaza. Is there a block touch? Nope. And there is very quickly a challenge right away from Coach Kenneth Panes. That card raised by assistant coach Michael Sabitiana.
Boy, these teams, like talking about the Navigators, they're not leaving anything to chance, obviously.
They're not fooling around. It's just, we're not even in the second point, and a challenge card is up already.
Yeah.
There's Jade Desquitado on your screens from on the left side, number 21. Formerly from Santa Rosa City Lions.
Boy, you know, Guaza must be really sure to be able to tell the coach, you got to challenge that.
52% efficiency for Guaza in that 14-point output. He started in all sets for the Navigators as they beat BNS in 4 sets. Both teams with 2 challenges per set.
Yeah, but looking at the team of the Navigators, you can't help but feel excited for them. And, you know, whatever happens in this conference and in future conferences, because they're a new team. And then look what they're, how they're performing.
Benjailo Labide still not even warmed up. And they're cooling down because of this challenge, taking a bit of time for the result.
It's so anticlimactic. It's how you started the game, Liberato with that kill, and then there's a challenge. Halt!
Herbert Matematico calling both team captains Cordes and Labide. The video feed is inconclusive, apparently. So, are they going to replay the point?
They should. They should.
No, it's the point is given to Army. The call stands. The call was no block touch, so the call stands.
Right, yeah. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. You know, you have to follow the call of the referee. So, nonetheless, 2-0.
But do you like the kind of start both teams are having?
Oh!
Desquitado! That's very conclusive.
Okay, this kid is saying, I won't need any challenge whatsoever. I'm just gonna pound it to the ground.
Jay Desquitado coming off a 12-point performance. Can you believe this kid's just 18 years old?
I know, so much more years ahead of him.
And there's Enciso picking up where he left off.
Oh, his target today is 14. 3-9. First game 3, then second game 9, then 13. So he wants to better that today.
That's right.
Good serve.
Apolinario sets it up for Cordes. That's dug up by Labide. Here comes Rojas. That's into the net. Attack error for Patrick Rojas.
Yeah, you can see his follow through, not the best and not the most fluid. Kind of bent there. So he needs to get his feel in this game.
So Nas Guaza to serve. Former PCU Dolphin.
You were asking him, his dad was also a player?
No, I didn't ask that. But he's been playing since he was 5 years old. And he,
5?
Yeah, he even has a reel online of his performance in his elementary days.
Wow. But he was born and raised here.
No. Nigeria.
Ah.
He's not even a naturalized player yet.
Okay.
That's just outside for Rojas. So a couple of errors for Rojas early in the opening set, Noreen.
Yeah, he's got to shake it off. He knows he is the veteran of the squad, and they will need him to lead, not by errors, but by good example.
Meantime, Toto De Pedro, 11 points in the last game. Labide,
Wow.
It crawls over the net cord.
That's how talented he is. You know, it's not the best of sets. It was kind of far, but he was able to get it through. Look at this. Look at how far he was.
So impressive. And at 36 years old, Labide is still playing at such a high level.
I know. But you can see his fitness. He took care of his
conditioning, right?
Yeah, his physique obviously pretty well.
Cordes, triple block. Back row, Desquitado. One-handed dig, no good. And Ciso, what a save.
Yeah.
Labide is rejected at the net by Apolinario. There's another block by the Navigators.
Good cover, though.
Another block. 3 straight blocks by the Navigators. Labide.
Oh! That's determination for you from, like you said, this 36-year-old hitter.
Unbelievable performance for Jairo Labide, the team captain. 9 points in their 4-set win against Vanguard. It's a 6-3 opening set in favor of the Troopers.
Good start for Army. Whoa!
A couple of service errors already. And that was Enciso's weakness as well when they went up against Cotabato last, 2 games ago. A lot of service errors for Enciso.
Obviously, they have to check that in today's game.
Overpass. Labide.
Great cover.
Apolinario sets it up back row. Cordes, that is just on the line.
Well, Cordes was their last game's best player. Cordes, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
17.
Wow.
47% efficiency as well.
They're just so athletic because when you look at their height, they're not like the tallest of players, but they just so athletic.
Good block against Labide, but Rojas will coverage. Labide with the left hand.
Oh, good save.
What a dive by Desquitado. Chance ball for the Troopers. Here we go. Ramirez goes back to Labide. Down the line.
Oh.
Dug up by De Pedro, but not good enough. Point Army.
Boy, hot start for Benjailo Labide today. I mean, again, that set was so near the net. He just went, look at that. Just eluded the net and went down the line. So impressive today.
2-point cushion for the Troopers. 7 serving 5. Tonks Torres.
Well, they need a good serve here from him.
Great pass by De Pedro. That was Norsidik on the attack. Labide sends it outside. They will challenge. Say there's a block touch. Or a net violation, sorry.
Yeah, but it actually didn't look like it was touched by the blockers because it was pretty much a mishit there. Well, we'll see.
First challenge. Let's see if this one has conclusive evidence. If the challenge...
I like it when you say that. Inconclusive, conclusive evidence. It's like a mystery story we're trying to
solve, right?
To solve.
If this challenge is successful, we'll get to our technical timeout because the point will be given to Army, and right now they lead by 2, 7-5. Kenneth Panes giving out instructions, and Ramirez talking to Rojas.
But you know, you mentioned Ramirez. I like his addition to this Army squad because, you know, the fluid. I mean, it's not 100% perfect sets, but he's really so creative, and the fluidity of their offense, right? It made a whole lot of difference this conference.
There's just a lot more, word is not confidence, but a lot more spunk and creativity, like what you mentioned with their offense. And Ramirez has been known for that since his Adamson days, right?
And him being an aggressive setter as well.
They're very fancy with the setting. Sometimes gets called for it, like maybe a double contact, a lift. But you like the way he experiments and changes things up. Again, we have, it took a while, but I think we have a result that we're going to show.
Stop peeking. You can't help it.
It's just a couple of seats beside me.
Just needs to look.
So there's the challenge was by Army. They're saying there's a net touch. We lost the feed, but Army, they feel like they did see some touch. Somebody touched the net, so.
I'm looking at Labide actually pointing to, I don't know if it's this Quital saying, you touched it, you touched it. But still, we're still awaiting the results of the challenge.
Meantime, Ramirez and De Pedro.
Goofy here.
Nice to see the players letting loose.
Yeah.
A little downtime here. Again, is this going to be inconclusive? Because Cordes, the team captain of the Navigators, and Labide being called by Herbert Matematico.
Well, if it is inconclusive, like what happened in the first challenge, point will go to D Navigators.
That's
because it was out, right?
It was out. That was a call. So Herbert Matematico overturns the call.
And then he signaled it was a net touch.
It was a net touch. So we get to our technical timeout because it's a 3-point lead for the Troopers over the Navigators here in the opening set.
We see a driven young player, but Eric and Noreen, that drive actually goes way deeper than what we can see. Growing up in Nigeria, Nas shared that his parents weren't really supportive of him playing volleyball while studying. So at 20 years old, he came here in the Philippines without his parents to make that dream happen for himself. He got a scholarship in the Philippine Christian University, played volleyball there, and now he's here after being invited by Iloilo to play. Sabi ni Nas, upon seeing him play in a league like the Spikers Turf, his parents are starting to see how serious he is about volleyball, starting to see his potential in this field, and Nas is hoping that this league will open more doors for him. Your thoughts, guys?
Thank you very much, Doreen. Great report. Well, I'm impressed, because you know what they say, right? Kids follow the parents' advice and all that. But Guaza knew what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he followed his dream and is now living it as he gets rejected at the net.
He doesn't want you talking about him. He got rejected. But no, really kidding aside, yeah. As long as he has what he wants to do in life, in his mind, then go for it.
That's so impressive. I mean, just following your dream. And if you do it right, you're going to succeed. That's what was happening for Guaza as Cortez sends it outside. But yeah, there was no block touch. And not a good start here for the Navigators. They're down by 4.
Yeah, I think for me, the Navigators have to settle down here. In case of over-eager with their offense.
And their reception, suspect. And an early timeout here for Kenneth Panes. His team down by 5 already.
Enjoy lang tayo sa game. Ngayon, mag-focus pa rin tayo sa spiker. Mag-focus pa rin tayo sa spiker. Enjoy lang sa game, ha?
Yes, coach!
Lalo na yung bawiin na natin, okay? Huwag na natin hayaan na score pa sila ng score. Okay? Ha? Unti-untiin na natin yan. Tara. Okay, ha? Okay.
Pasa lang! Nabil! Go!
Pasa lang.
Coach Kenneth Panes, former assistant coach of Central Philippine University in Iloilo. A lot of Ilonggos, well, naturally, for the Navigators Iloilo. But again, a few players added, like Guaza was just this January. But, as a whole, this team has been playing together since 2017. So,
and it's showing, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, not here in the first set, but we expect more from this team.
Disquitado knocks it in.
And Jade Disquitado actually made it to the national team, right?
Yeah.
For the coming SEA Games.
That's right. He's in the national team pool. Former Santa Rosa City Lion. Ramirez on a 1-2 play.
Well, he's making himself known to the Navigators. You don't know who I am yet here. I can do this.
You guys didn't watch the UAP?
Yeah.
Disquitado with a receive over set. Whoa. And Rojas sends it right back to Disquitado.
That should pop this leader up, talking about Rojas. But we did mention in the pre-game, the Waterloo of both teams really is the first pass. And so far, it is advantageous to Army.
Disquitado with a tip. He lands beyond the middle line. That's a violation. Disquitado with a couple of errors back-to-back.
And also, in the pre-game, we did mention both these teams are pretty decent in terms of committing errors.
Yeah, actually.
Army in their last game.
You mentioned like 6 for Army.
Average of
per
6,
set.
average of 4.
Right?
So, yeah.
Guaza.
Yeah, but here in this match, so far, we already felt some errors on both sides. The kid with a dream.
Yeah. That's Nas Guaza. Meantime, Jade Disquitado, that could have been out.
Yeah.
And Ciso blocked. Good coverage. Patrick Rojas, that tip goes wide.
Yeah, he wanted to tip it right behind the blockers. You saw the way he kind of twisted his body, but then the miss hit.
2 straight points for the Navigators. They are within 5. Oh, Liberato against the single defender. Little shimmy.
Yep. Well, obviously they're enjoying themselves. Talking about Army. Hope you can catch a shimmy after this.
There you go. Coming off a 7-point performance.
Ooh.
Kevin Liberato. Toto Di Pedro. Great save. That was already way beyond the antenna. And Ciso is rejected. It goes outside.
Well, he is the third offensive option, at least when we talked about him in the pregame, and he's delivering.
Good start for the Troopers and Ciso contributing once again. He sends us to our second technical timeout. The 7-point advantage, Troopers over the Navigators opening set. Seven-point lead for Kevin Liberato and the rest of the Troopers. 16-9 in the opening set. Both teams are coming off a win. For the Navigators, it's been a 3-game winning streak as Liberato sends it outside. Meantime, Army splitting their last 2 games.
Well, you talked about Liberato. He already has 7 points. 7 points today. Wow.
Good start. A quiet 7 for Liberato. Meantime, Nas Guaza with the serve.
Good serve.
Good get by King as well. And Ciso, that's wide.
Yeah, they have to check again their errors. If you're Army, you don't want to give new life to the Navigators, who obviously, we mentioned their last game was February 5.
Yeah.
So rust, a bit of rust we can see here, at least in the start of the first set.
Pretty long rest. Ooh! That is way low for Guaza. He is not happy with himself after that.
Yeah, they know they're chasing, so you don't want these unforced errors.
We were talking to Guaza. We mentioned, is he 5'8", but we asked him, he said he's 5'11". It's a very generous 5'11", that's for sure.
Okay, I'm going to Google.
Combination play, Cordes. What a get from Jason Uy. Here is Benjailo Labide. No block touch. Is there going to be a challenge?
No, they called the block touch.
All right. And no challenge from the Navigators.
Yeah, Mercy did not contest.
Rojas, what a serve. Apolinario. There's De Pedro with a kill.
Oh, that was a beauty for De Pedro there. Not a lot of sets, but that was clearly a clean hit off the blockers.
We were talking about the errors earlier, Noreen.
Yeah, Army has 7 already. Iloilo with 4. They actually average already for both teams.
Little tip there for Nursidik. Labide back-to-back hits. This time he scores.
Well, this is a rotation wherein Army has to take full advantage because the setter of the Navigators, Apolinario, at the front, blocking Labide. Obviously, the height disparity there.
And Ciso, he had a service error earlier. It's a 7-point lead once again for the Troopers. Cortes, that is just in.
Yeah, clip the line there. I was looking at the linesman.
So usual substitution for Melvin Carolino as you see the Cordes kill. Depamilo, Nicky Depamilo will check in along with Jaidal Abdul Mahid.
Yeah, they want a full front row here. Talking about Army, they want to protect their 7-point lead, their 6-point lead.
Not a good pass there for Rojas. King will play center. Benjailo Labide. Another shot going off the blockers.
Yeah, obviously a case of over-eager there for Labide. That was a great set by King.
Troopers, Noreen, able to protect their advantage. It's back up to 7.
Clip the line?
It was off the block as well.
Off the block, yeah.
Apolinario with the underhand set. Desquitado with a kill.
Well, now that he's in front, talking about Jade Desquitado, you want to feed him, you know, try to give chase here. You're down by 6.
Substitution for the Navigators as Chard Ponan checks in for the first time. Did not play in the win versus VNS.
Interesting substitution.
Right now, the Navigators can't afford to trade points with the Troopers. They need a series of stops here. Ooh, what a kill. That is Didang Abdul Mahid.
Wow.
Making his presence felt.
Yeah, instant offense coming off the bench. That's what you like about these substitutions, is when they score immediately, then the coach is like, good, great substitution. Pat, pat, pat.
Back to a 7-point lead. De Pedro with the pass. Back row. Nursidik. And that's gone. Sorry, that was Cordes with a kill.
You can see the options of the Navigators. Really, everyone is a threat. That was a perfect set because, you know, Army was actually gearing towards blocking the Desquitado. So no blockers there.
Viking, not a good receive. Here comes Patrick Rojas. Over received. Rojas with the tip. There's a net touch against the Navigators.
Try to block that, but his momentum brought him to the net.
See there.
That's the collision.
Exactly. So Coach Panes calls his final timeout.
Hindi tayo nagiging organized pa rin, no? Tingnan mo, ang blockage natin wala. Touch din, hindi sabay. Ano yun, yung depensa natin, wala na tayo sa pattern. Okay, dahan-dahan muna tayo, tingnan natin. Pwesto muna tayo sa lugar natin. I-organize muna natin ang position natin. Tapos, simplihan lang natin yung block. Go sa pattern, go sa pattern. Okay? Hayaan mo na, huwag nyo naabutin kung hindi kaya. May depensa naman sa likod eh. Okay? Guys, di ba sila tapos ha? Bring block. Huwag tayo magigil. Huwag tayo magigil. Ano lang umasa ko? Prep ito lang ha, prep ito lang.
Right now, the Navigators in dire straits, down by the biggest deficit once again at 7 points, and no more timeouts remaining for Coach Kenneth Panes.
You like it when the bench actually, you know, joins in the huddle and you can see the teammates saying, "Pare, pito na lang yan." You know, for the people in the court, pito is a lot.
That's a lot. And worse, Enciso and Ramirez returned for the Troopers.
Yeah, but seriously, they need to take, you know, point per point. Talk about
there you go.
Yeah, that's one.
6 more to go for Jade Desquitado and the rest of the Navigators.
Well, they have a full front row. Also talking about the Navigators. So, yeah, this is when they want to give chase.
Can they get a series of stomps and go on a run here? Let's find out. Ooh, that's not going to help.
Not with that, like you said.
That probably could be it. At least in the first set for the Navigators. Joshua Barica, the service specialist, checking in for the Troopers. Substitution as well. Engay checking in for Desquitado.
I wonder if that's a sign of kind of waving the white flag for the Navigators, letting Desquitado rest the latter part of the first set.
So Joshua Barica, the former Tamarao, into the net.
Yeah, the toss was pretty high for Joshua Barica, so yeah, he didn't get enough contact with that ball.
Well, Troopers giving the Navigators a lot of chances here in the opening set. Can they really take advantage? Patrick Rojas rejected. Coverage by King. Rojas again, blocked again. Great coverage against by King.
Well, that's a story of the first set for Army. Great coverage.
De Pedro, that set too far, way too far. That's going to be 7 set points for the Troopers.
Yeah, that was beyond the antenna already. Well, great start though. We gotta mention for the Army Troopers, really great start here in this match.
Oh, that's on the line. Thunderous serve from Patrick Rojas. And a very comfortable opening set for the Troopers.
What a way to end this first set. We were saying great start, but great finish.
Big win here. 25-17 win by the Troopers against the Navigators in the opening set. There you see the ace by Rojas. Second set coming up right after these. We're back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center for the first game of your Sunday triple header in the Open Conference of the Spikers Turf. Highlights of this 8-point win in the first set by the Troopers against the Navigators.
You know, I would say really, at the start of the first set, both teams were challenging each other. The Navigators actually were blocking well, but like I mentioned towards the end of the first set, the story was Army was just ready. They were covering really well. So not much tough blocks on the side of the Navigators, and Army just played like a cohesive unit. Look at the numbers. They led in all categories, attacks, blocks, and even serves. And we did say whoever would serve better also, will have the advantage. And the opponent's area, we did mention, their average is 6 and 4, and obviously way above that. So that's one thing both teams have to check coming into the second set. But I feel, Eric, really, for the Navigators, a bit of rust maybe because of that 1 week rest. So we expect them to come out in the second set with guns blazing.
That's Guaza back in the starting lineup. It's the same 6 for Coach Panes. And you can say the same as well for Coach Melvin Carolino and the Troopers. Here we go, set number 2 underway. Thanks for watching us on One Sports Plus, Signal Play, and Smart Live Stream. And that's the way you want to start after losing the opening set. The team captain Cortez with a kill.
Well, speaking of Cortez, he leads the scores of Iloilo together with Desquitado with 4 points. Guaza and De Pedro with 1 point. In Army, it is Liberato with 7. Labida with 4, and Ciso with 2, and Ross with 3. So pretty balanced scoring except for Liberato with 7 points.
But Apolinario with a service error, 8 errors in total for the Navigators in the opening set. It's Kevin Liberato looking to add to his 7 points. Not a good pass by De Pedro. Here comes Desquitado. Ooh, way off.
Yeah, trying. Actually, I thought he was trying to hit it off the blockers, but a total miss hit there for Jay Desquitado. He's got to shake it off.
So all the 2 points of the Troopers are errors right now. 1 service error, Apolinario, attack error from Desquitado.
Speaking of errors.
Yep.
But that's one thing in the men's game, a lot of service errors. We've seen that.
These boys are just too strong.
Too strong. Adrenaline, what have you.
Desquitado. from Santa Rosa City as well, aside from having played with Santa Rosa City. There is Enciso.
Oh, what a combination play on the side of Army. Great setting by Ramirez. Look at that.
Enciso, third point for him. What a serve. He closed the opening set with an ace and then serves his first ace here in the second set.
He really goes for it.
Yeah.
Not talking about Rojas. And, you know, I would really notice that he lost a lot of weight, you know, from last year to this year, and it's showing in his game.
4 points for Rojas.
Another good one.
Difficult pass there for Disquitado.
Ooh.
Cortes, Jason Uy with an excellent get. That push is going to be long for Rojas.
Yeah, good try, good try.
So 4 points for Rojas, 2 aces, 2 attacks.
And you know he's going to build on that.
Oh, for sure. Coming off a 16-point performance. Lapide, up by Apolinario. Disquitado will set it up for Cortes with a push. Lapide picks it up. Enciso down the line. Disquitado picking it up. Apolinario to De Pedro. That is just on the line. This is going to be challenged. No, apparently not. Coach Carolina says, yeah, I think it was on the line. So
I saw him, he was looking at Joshua Barrica, who is by the line, and Barrica said, it's good. no
yeah,
challenge.
let's not waste our challenges. We only have 2%. Guaza, that is wide.
Boy, they're really going for the lines, huh? The jump serves.
Guaza, after a 14-point performance, only 1 point so far.
Can't seem to find his groove yet in this match.
Meantime, Enciso already with 3 after a 13-point performance. Ooh, Cortes! Wow! Using all of that 6 feet frame, drill that one in. This deserves another look.
And he makes it look so easy. You know, the way he goes for those hits.
Mires. Lapide answers right back.
Like, you know, Pop is saying, talking about Vijay Lapide, hey kid, you can do that, I can do that too.
What an exchange here at the start of the second set. 6 serving 5.
Yeah, and we did mention, no, this is like the end of the 3rd week of competition, so we're expecting all the teams to gel better.
That's right.
That's always been the problem at the start of the conference, and we expect the rallies to be longer.
De Pedro varying his attack this time with a push. 22-year-old team captain Jerome Cortes.
Great placement shot there.
Nico Ramirez to Jailo Lapide. Hits the net and goes outside.
Yeah, I tried to go for the tough angle, but the net denied him of that, and it dribbled out.
So the Navigators by 1, 7, serving 6. Ooh. And these errors, 8 errors in the first set. Cortes obviously not happy with that serve.
Yeah.
They could have been up by 2, but now the game is tied at 7.
And it's like, you know, we always say, that, you know, the saying they're shooting themselves in the foot because they're the ones creating their momentum, then they commit these errors.
Right. Speaking of errors, Nur Siddiq sends it outside, so Troopers take us to our first technical timeout, 8-7 over the Navigators, set number 2.
even after scoring in double digits in all 3 games of the Army so far, PJ Rojas feels like kulang pa ang nabibigay niya sa team, and he is highly motivated to do better for 2 reasons, Eric and Noreen. Number 1, Army head coach Bong Carolino was actually PJ's teammate for 7 years. Kaya magaan daw ang paglalaro under coach at kabisado na siya ni coach. So alam ni coach paano mapapalabas ang strengths niya on the court. Pangalawa, pinapanood daw sila sa TV ng troops na nakadestino sa Mindanao at Ilocos Sur. And PJ says that it provides a morale boost for those troops, seeing them play well here in the Spikers turf. What do you think, Eric and Noreen? Do you think the comrades are happy to see them play?
Thanks for the report, Doreen. Comrades.
Comrades in Mindanao.
I'm sure, right? I am sure our men in uniform enjoying their, teammates, their friends succeed on the court.
Yeah. I mean, they should be happy with the way Army is playing right now.
But there's Jay Disquitado making it a 1-point game.
Well, he's been scoring, little here, little there. Talking about Disquitado, I think he needs to gain his confidence back.
Not a good pass there from Jairo Labide. Going to be a chance ball here for the Navigators. Nursidik gets it. There's Disquitado wiping it off the blockers and scoring.
Well, back-to-back points there for Disquitado. Changing things up, just a smart tip there. But what you want for the Navigators really is for them to get their own momentum right now. And play the way, that's why they're 3-0, undefeated. Play the way they have been playing.
Viking with a good pass. Rojas. De Pedro interfering with the trajectory of the ball. Cordes was right there for the pickup.
And if you're Cordes, you actually hate that. I had it! I had it!
Take a look here. There's Cordes was diving for it, but De Pedro sent it to a different direction. Apolinario sets it up. Cordes gets it. Labide pops it up. Uy will set it. Too low for Enciso. Chance ball for the Navigators. Here they go. Disquitado! Woo! 3rd straight point.
What a set, though. That really fooled the blocker. So Disquitado was just faced with a one-on-one here. Look at 2 blockers.
They go up with Guaza, so Disquitado had an open block. Disquitado unofficially might count 7 points already, but this is the problem for the Navigators. They either tie or get a 4-point, they get a 1-point lead, but they turn it over. They commit an error.
I think that's their 4th service error of the set. 6 errors in total.
Wow. But there's a positional fault against the Navigators. They can't seem to catch a break here.
Yeah, that's true. And, at this level of competition, we really do not like to see these rotational faults.
So it's a 2-point advantage here for the Troopers, and they didn't have to sweat for it. Great pass by Cordes. Here comes De Pedro. Liberato was right there. Jairo Labide will set it up for Rojas. That's a little too low.
Rojas really just goes for it. Really, if the set is
doesn't
to
matter.
his liking,
High, low.
That's passion for you. That's that mantra, that slogan. Passion meets
power meets passion.
That's Rojas for you.
Short serve, Disquitado. They really can't seem to get it going.
Well, the service really of the Navigators, not just Disquitado. Everyone is.
So is that 5 service errors already?
Yeah.
So that's 5 with the 13 points of the Troopers. They didn't have to work for.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Over receive again by Disquitado. That's going to be an overreach on Apolinario. No, apparently an overreach on Tonks Torres. And the Troopers unhappy with the call, but I don't think they can challenge that.
Yeah, I mean, Apolinario did a great job in keeping that ball in play, showing that he can actually set it. And Army just got their hand caught inside the cookie jar.
I'm impressed Apolinario can jump that high.
Yeah.
Because that pass was really way up the net. Labide, that's a point.
He's playing it smart right now, not just going for those tough angles. He can go down the line, hit hit it off the high hands.
Jailo Labide. 9 points, 8 digs, 11 receptions. Almost a triple-double for Labide. In their last game, a win against Vanguard. Polinario.
It is a great season for Labide.
Oh, yeah. One-handed pickup there for Uy. Uy gets it back. Not a good pass there for Labide. That was a wild sequence for the Troopers. Even Uy is laughing about it. Why'd you give it back to me?
What was that? No, but you know, because we have all these monitors in front of us, and he tried to elude them and try to just keep the ball alive. So he was just hoping his teammates would support what he did.
Ramirez to Labide. Apolinario. They go to Nur Sidik. And that's in.
Yeah, we actually in this match, you didn't see a lot of the middles getting involved. That's a great set by Apolinario.
14 all. Now this is the clincher. Can the Navigators serve it in?
Yeah, good question.
It's going to be on the hands of Toto de Pedro. All right, it's in.
Better serve.
Here we go. Can they play defense? That is off the block. Jairo Labide making sure the Troopers are still ahead.
Well, he has been playing well. You mentioned 9 points the last game. But he's so consistent in today's game.
And he does everything. Defends, attacks.
Try to keep the ball alive.
Right. Good pass by De Pedro. Here comes Cortez. That's gone.
You can feel, you know, players of D Navigators like Cortez is getting his groove. Desquitado is. So you're expecting a better set here, the second set.
Again, tied game, 15 all. Served by Cortez. Oh, that's, definitely going to be an overreach because Ramirez was still trying to set it, although the pass seemed like it was going across the net. Nur Sidik meddled with it, and it's a 1-point lead for the Troopers, 16-15 over the Navigators.
Well, we got some numbers here. Cortez in the first set had 3 attacks out of 8. Yeah, we have some numbers here. In the first set, Cortez had 3 out of 8 attacks. And in the second set, 5 out of 10. So he is slowly feeling it here in this match.
1-point lead for the Troopers. Desquitado knocks it in. Ties the game at 16, but error numbers for both teams not looking good for the Navigators.
Yeah, 9 for them and 6 for Army. But right now, again, you're feeling that the Navigators playing a lot better. The challenge right now is for Army. How are you going to respond?
Good defense at the net for the Navigators. Desquitado is rejected. Apolinario goes back to Jade. Jade, Desquitado, rejected again. Twice denied. Third time. There's Labide picking it up. 1-2 play off Jason Uy. There's Guaza rejected. Great defense at the net here by the Troopers.
Yeah, but good save.
And there's Liberato with the kill. What a way to finish off an exciting rally.
Yeah, that was a good one, but you got to credit Ramirez going to Liberato there, just changing things up.
Nico Ramirez going to Kevin Liberato.
See, the blockers weren't prepared for that. But what about the defense, like you said, of Army against Desquitado? That's 3 chances for him.
1 point lead for the Troopers. Disquitado off the block. I don't know what Rojas was shouting about because that ball was on its way out.
He just
And
wanted,
Disquitado is wondering, what's... I scored the point.
he just wanted to scream.
So we're tied at 17. Starting setter, Kel Apolinario serving. Labide with a great pass. Liberato!
Oh, good.
What a save by
Yeah.
Disquitado. 1-2 play. Set there by King, and that's gonna cost them.
Well, he tried. Talking about Ramirez, tried to keep the ball alive, but it was really an overpass.
And he's stepping beyond the middle line as well. Talking about Nico Ramirez. So the Navigators up by 1. Not for long. As Liberato a little stare down against Disquitado after getting the kill. What a second set.
It's a better set, obviously, but what confidence really Ramirez has for Liberato right now. Why not go to him?
Liberato top scoring in the opening set with 7. Apolinario to Disquitado. And Disquitado telling the 3-man block, not good enough, guys.
It went out. Number 1, number 2, somebody touched the net.
Take a look here. The 3-man block against Jade Disquitado, the 18-year-old, getting the upper hand that time. And 1 point lead for the Navigators. Disquitado serving by King with a pass. Ramirez sends it to Rojas. Off the block, and it's gone. Wow, what an exchange. This is one blow after another.
Yeah.
It's like a heavyweight match.
It was very entertaining for us fans here. But again, you like the sets of Ramirez, you know, really changing things up, not just outside. He goes opposite, he goes the middle. So it's he trying to make the Navigators guess.
Rojas with the service error. The Navigators up by 1 at this stage with 5-6 points remaining. Errors are a big deal.
And you have to give it to the Navigators. They've been serving pretty well here.
Actually, after not serving well at the start of the second set, Apolinario had to chase that one down. This is a chance ball. What does Ramirez do? Who's he going to go to? Why not Labide?
Oh,
Apolinario again.
Good save.
What floor defense by the Navigators. By King passes Ramirez. And an easy put away, Nur Sidik. Yeah, that was right up in the middle. Melvin Carolino trying to contest. I don't know if they're going to challenge or if it's even a challengeable call.
They think it's an overreach. But what a save there.
What a save there by Apolinario. Twice he's made really spectacular saves. This seemed like it was right in the middle by Ramirez. So a timeout here by Coach Carolino.
Nandun
Hey, wait
sa
lang.
pwesto mo. Para maano tayo.
Wait lang. Dahan-dahanin muna natin ha. Dahan-dahan lang. Huwag tayo magmadali.
Dalawa yan, no?
Ayusin mo yung pasok. Ayusin mo yung pasok mo. Pasok ng explosive. Resiba mo na maayos. Diskartehan mo na maayos ha.
Yes, coach.
Ngayon, pagka binigyan sa inyo ng bola, ayusin nyo naman. Skirt tayo. Kaya nyo. Lakad din, patuloy, palabas.
Dalawa lang yan.
Palo. Okay, diskartehan mo na maayos.
Kunin natin to set. Kunin natin to set.
It's the biggest lead of the Navigators, Noreen, at 2 points. And Coach Carolino, you can tell from the tone of his voice, he knows how good the Navigators are, and they've got to, make a move before this lead gets bigger.
Yeah, obviously he knows that the Navigators game's coming out here, towards the middle and to the latter part of the second set. So all I heard was really ayusin natin, right? In all aspects.
Labide. Oh, that's into the net. Labide knows it. It's now a 3-point lead. Attack error for Jairo Labide, the team captain.
Well, that's one thing you don't want to see coming off a timeout.
That didn't even touch any blockers. So really in a good position right now. The Navigators. Good serving as well. Ramirez goes to Enciso with the left hand.
Crossing violation. We saw that. His right leg.
Wow. Back-to-back errors, Noreen. And almost back-to-back timeouts for Coach Carolino. No more timeouts remaining after this. We'll listen in.
naibigay na sa atin, nai-release na sa atin. So, diskartehan na natin, ha? Naiset na sa atin, eh. Kumbaga, minsan nga lang tayo setan, hindi pa natin ayusin paluin, ha? Paluin lang natin na maayos, okay? Pagkaset sa atin, kaya tayo.
Malayo pa yan. Dikit natin. Challenge to, challenge. Walang bibitaw lang. Challenge to, challenge.
This is 4 straight points for the Navigators. And the last 2 were errors. Not what you want to see after timeout, 2 timeouts for Coach Carolino.
Yeah, they can't seem to, set up the play properly. A lot of miscues there on the side of Army. But yeah, I mean, they should take from the timeout. Try to freeze the Navigators.
Chard Bon-an continues to serve. Labide. There it is. That's what Coach Carolino wanted. At the 21-19 mark.
Yeah. We heard that in the timeout. Palo lang ng palo.
Labide scores, and a substitution here. But before that, a timeout first by Coach Panes for the Navigators.
Okay, hindi ka makalikod. Sino receiver natin?
Bilisan mo yung pasok mo.
Receive na maayos, ha? One stop tayo, receive tayo mga ayos para makapatay tayo sa atake.
Sa magandang pasa to, patayin nyo para lasa tayo.
Sige, paano?
Oh, gitna pasa.
Makawan man. Go. Ikaw na bala.
Well, if you're the Navigators, you want to get a 24. That's it. I mean, 24 is the magic. It's not the winning point, but it's the magic number. You're there. You're a point away from winning the set.
I mean, they know they have the advantage talking about the Navigators, but again, you don't want to leave anything to chance. If you can call a timeout, call a timeout.
Abdul Mahid Dipamailo checking back in for the Troopers. And I'm looking at the Navigators. They've got Nursidik Cordes in front, and at the back you've got De Pedro and Disquitado. So really solid 6 on the floor.
Anyone can hit.
Yeah. It can come from anywhere. Let's see. Apolinario, that's a good pass. Here we go, combination play, Cordes, and that's it. It's 4 set points for the Navigators.
Well executed play on the side of the Navigators coming off a timeout. And when Cordes gets a good set, which is obviously that was that.
Must have been scary for the Troopers, especially you saw the first ball. The pass was good. Now where is this coming from? Overpass. Good save there by King. Apolinario, back row attack, De Pedro.
Oh.
Yes, the Navigators, 2 straight points. And they tie it at 1 set all.
We did say, I mean, when they get their groove and they get their game, they're going to be a better team. And obviously that happened here in the second set.
That's exactly what they showed the Troopers. A 25 point win for the Navigators against Army in set number 2. It's 1 set all in the first game of your Sunday triple header here at the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. The Navigators 5-point win in set number 2 as we check the highlights.
Well, we weren't surprised, Eric, when the Navigators just stepped on the gas there in the second set. They started out pretty shaky as well, but when they got their groove, you know, they corrected their errors. They had better serves, better passes, and then offense just followed suit. And Army was the one who's actually committing the errors towards the latter part of that second set. And we are tied at 1 set apiece.
That's right. Great offense being shown to us in the second set by the Navigators.
Well, look, if you look at the attacks, it's pretty much a mirror image. Look at 15 for this time, the Navigators, and 9 for Army. A while ago, it was the other way around. Then you can see the blocks even, served just by 1. Opponents' errors, it's 9 apiece. But remember, at the start of the set, the Navigators already committed, what, 5, 6 errors. So they minimized it by committing just 3 the entire middle part of the end, which is why they were able to close it out, you know.
And can you imagine how much better they would have played and how much bigger the margin would have been if the Navigators didn't commit the 7 service errors in set number 2?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why we mentioned they're at 3 wins and 0 losses. They're undefeated still in the Spikers term.
That's saying a lot for a team that's a rookie team in this league. Although they are a veteran team in terms of joining competitions, they are the Dinagyang Volleyball League champion.
Where's that?
In Iloilo.
Oh, okay.
Back row, Cortez. That's how you want to start after a solid second set.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Cortez, he now leads again with this Quitado with 10 points after that kill. He was at 9, but with that, that's 10 points apiece with this Quitado. Liberato with 10, Labide with 8.
What a setup there by Ramirez. Again, going to his favorite attacker in Liberato. Now with 11.
Well, Adao tried to use his body to stop that, but no support from the rest. Look at that.
Almost 0 tempo there. That service long for Nico Ramirez.
Well, that didn't have a chance, really.
Here's Jade Disquitado out of Meridian Educational Institute in Santa Rosa.
And we mentioned him, right?
Yeah.
In last year's Spikers turf, when we were introduced to this Quitado, really, he was a star, you know, star to shine through the years. So good.
12 points for Liberato. We're tied at 2 apiece.
Oh, great serve.
Apolinario sets it up to Pedro. He's feeling it after scoring the final point in the second set. De Pedro now with 5.
Well, he doesn't get a lot of sets, but his efficiency rate obviously way up there.
Pedro 11 points in that 4-set win against VNS. Service error.
Yeah, Viking, good decision of letting it just go.
Rojas with a service error. Rojas with 6 points.
You can see Uy giving some words of encouragement to Rojas.
Toto De Pedro with a short serve. And Ciso with a push. Apolinario picking it up. Here's Adao. Cortez. Is there a block touch? There wasn't any for second. Referee Ryan Corpus or Herbert Matematico gives the point to the Troopers.
Yeah, no challenge there.
I was waiting for one. It could have been close. Speaking of close, tied game at 4-all. Third set, 1 set apiece. And Ciso. Apolinario. Cordes.
Oh.
Cordes just goes way up high, and that wingspan allows him to hit above the blockers.
That's like how straight he is. I mean, when he walks, if you see him outside, you wouldn't think he's a volleyball player. But then when he goes up for the kills,
and he's listed at 6 feet, but he moves like he's 6'4" or something when he hits. Speaking of playing beyond your height and capabilities, Jailo Labide, what a kill.
Well, he'll need to really lead his team if they want to win. I mean, it is a tied match, one set apiece, but I feel really Labida still has to be the leader of the pack.
5-all. Out of Taguig, Tonks Torres. Nice pass by De Pedro. Here comes Dorsinik.
You did say it. Nice pass, perfect pass actually by
Apolinario.
De Pedro.
Oh, sorry, De Pedro.
Yeah, De Pedro. Yeah, perfect pass by De Pedro.
So a 1-point lead for the Navigators. Could have been a nice serve, just a little long for the former San Beda Red Lion.
Well, they've been serving better, but not without errors.
Yep.
Talk about the Navigators.
Again, another close start to the set. Another great pass by De Pedro. Single-handed set by Apolinario, and that's an easy block for Liberato. 13 for Liberato.
They're actually silent. I mean, not really silent. He gets the kills, but when you actually follow the game, you wouldn't think in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
more
volume.
than 10. Oh.
1-point lead for the Troopers. Back row, Cordes with a push. That's legal. You
Yeah.
use your feet.
Good save by Ramirez.
Desquitado. Oh, what a solid block there. Ramirez and Liberato, and they let Desquitado know about it.
And you know Ramirez, he's gonna make you feel that, okay, we blocked you. Feel this.
Here's the save by Nico Ramirez.
After the save,
Yep. And Ramirez was the one who blocked it. Oh, great play by Ramirez. 2-point lead. First technical timeout.
Did you guys know that Jailo Labide has been playing volleyball for as long as I have been living here on Earth? 22 years, Eric and Noreen, and 14 of that spent with the Army. But Jailo shared that it was not his plan to be in the Army. He actually finished with a commerce-related degree. But after a tune-up game with the Army, he was recruited, and the rest is history. Na-share nga nito si Jailo na ang pagiging isang sundalo, it made him a better volleyball player and a better person because of the discipline and commitment he developed in the Army. In 6 to 7 years, Jailo sees himself retiring and pursuing a career as a volleyball coach. What do you guys think?
Great report, Doreen, but you made me feel old all of a sudden.
you felt it.
There's a point for Rojas. But yeah, even AJ Pareja was talking about how impressive the career of Jailo Labide has been. You know, playing for this long at such a high level.
You know, it's a matter really of how he wants to, how he maintains himself. Really, you want longevity in your career. You have to work hard at that.
Be disciplined.
Yeah.
And Desquitado with a point. Take a look here against a double block.
Yeah, getting it through the blockers, tit for tat for both teams.
But the Navigators still down by 1. Ramirez, the back set, Rojas down the line. It's wide, and we're tied at 9.
He tried to go down the line like you said, but totally missed that line. Adao was there, knew it.
Desquitado, and officially has 11 already. Liberato rejected there by Guaza.
Well, we talked about him in our pregame. so far in this match. His presence not much felt, so you know that here in the third set, given the opportunity to play longer minutes, he's gonna try to get his points.
Second point for Guaza after a 14-point performance by King. Not a good pass. And Ciso still, but he crossed the line, though it was after, I guess, the ball landed. So that's going to be a point for Enciso and the Troopers.
Just able to control his momentum. Look at that. He didn't cross, actually. The hands can't.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's legit.
So that's 4 points for Enciso as Guaza with a push. Enciso from the other side, rejected. Ramirez. Here's Labide, will play setter. Rojas. Oh, nowhere to go.
You like the reaction of the Pedro every time he scores a point. Yeah, he was all over that.
That's going to be 6 for De Pedro. A 1-point lead for the Navigators. Guaza with a serve. Ooh.
Oh,
Just outside.
that was close.
Guaza still looking for his rhythm. 11 all.
Yeah, I mean, he scored 13 points in this last game.
Yep. De Pedro. And net touch against the Troopers. So De Pedro will give the Navigators a 1-point lead.
Labide actually pretty surprised that he didn't touch the net.
Enciso.
Oh!
5 points for Enciso.
That's a great set again by Ramirez. Blocker slow to close. Look at this. Look at that open space to just to hit the ball.
12 all. Good pass there by Desquitado. Cordes. Ramirez, a jump set. Labide. Back row, Desquitado. Bang!
Still alive!
1-2 play. Ramirez with a kill.
He's pumped talking about Ramirez. I mean, it's like the effort to keep this ball alive. That he's, I got your back.
And you love the swagger. That's what he brings, Ramirez, to the Troopers. 13-12. And Nursidik nowhere to go. He's saying, was it a little short? You see, wanted it a little longer, closer to the antenna. That's what he's saying to Apolinario.
A little higher, maybe.
So a 2-point cushion here for the Troopers. 14 serving 12. Third set. We're tied at 1 set all.
Good serve.
Apolinario gave Nursidik the set he wanted and got the point.
Was not the perfect of sets. He had to adjust in midair, but still, you're right. He got the point. And probably telling Apolinario, see what I can do if you set it higher.
Ramirez, another 1-2 play. Ramirez feeling it.
He is. 3 for 3? Is that 3? I think it's about 3 for 3.
Back to a 2-point cushion for the Troopers. Torres with the serve. 15-13. De Pedro has been receiving very well. Desquitado. There's a net touch here. Ramirez saying it wasn't him. Desquitado pointing at him. Is there going to be a challenge?
Good question.
No, Coach Carolina is saying no, we don't want.
No, it's correct. They clipped the net. Talking about Army, it wasn't Desquitado.
All right, Ramirez, his performance so far, Noreen.
Yeah, 4 points, 3 attacks. So it is 3 for 3, 1 block, and 10 excellent sets. Pretty impressive.
Yep. And we're just in the third set. Only a 1-point lead for the Troopers. Liberato picked up by Apolinario. The set was behind Desquitado. And Lapide, oh, sent back. Great defense by Guaza. And a 2-point run for the Navigators. They tie the game at 15.
And you would think if Apolinario's there, Lapide would have the advantage, but no, he was able to get a hand at that. It was Apolinario.
Going for the lead, the Navigators. Oh, and Liberato says not just yet. Troopers up by 1, 16-15 against the Navigators, third set.
Ngayon, pagka magbablock tayo, alam natin ida-drop ball, pwede natin sundutin, huwag natin ibaba yung kamay. Sundutin pa rin natin, ha? O tayo.
Walang bibitaw, walang bibitaw.
Tapusin na natin to.
Pa-end game na ulit. End game na ulit na natin.
Kevin Liberato, number 19, already with 14 points in my unofficial count. That's why the Troopers lead by 1 here. De Pedro, with a good contribution, 5 points so far. Apolinario also doing an excellent job distributing for the Navigators.
Actually, both Apolinario and Ramirez doing really well today.
Apolinario, back set. Cortez with a push. Rojas, that's outside.
Well, these are the errors you don't want to see. It is the midway here in the third set.
16 all. Again, no team really getting any form of momentum yet.
Yes.
Viking with a good pass. Here comes Enciso, back row, nowhere to go.
Good save.
And this time, Rojas gets it off the blockers.
You know, that's more like it for Rojas, really. Patient volleyball. It doesn't have to be all power. Just get it through the blockers. Look at that.
Oh, that's a little too high for Guaza, but he saves it.
Yeah.
Nice kill. Liberato.
Oh, he has been the consistent one for Army.
14 for Liberato and a timeout here for Coach Panes and the Navigators.
Okay. Ayos tayo, ayos. Sipagan mo natin. Okay, sipagan natin, no? Wala tayo. Tingnan nyo, nagsisiya na tayo. Huwag ganun. Laro tayo na maayos. Trabaho tayo na maayos. Eh, sino receiver? Receive na mabuti, ha? Mabuti mo na receive na sa harapan. Sa harapan, tatlo kayo. Tatlo.
Ano, spin ball lang. Pag spin ball, huwag nyo nang blakin.
Sipagan nyo kumuha ng bola. Sipagan nyo. Hindi pwedeng nakatayo lang. Ngayon,
Go lang.
Navigators want to maintain their perfect record. They're 3-0 so far in this open conference.
Espanso in as the libero for the Navigators.
Desquitado. Wow. 11 now unofficially for Jay Desquitado.
You know how good he is. Talking about Jay Desquitado. It's sad to say. Why doesn't he get more sets? But then you know that they have to distribute the ball.
Viking with a receive. There comes Enciso. Wow. Good exchange.
Yeah. And we talked about him, and he is not disappointing us.
6 points for Enciso. Offense of both teams are so good, but their defense needs to step up.
Yeah, that's true.
Cortez block. There's a good defensive play. Guaza. De Pedro pushes it. Enciso. That's outside.
Yeah, he knew it. I saw it. His reaction after, oh, what a waste.
1 point game. Nas Guaza getting ready to serve.
Oh, he's got to get his serves in. Oh.
You jinxed it.
No, I was actually surprised he didn't go for the jump serve, but then it didn't. I mean, same result. You know, that's really obviously a perfect example of the mental factor for Guaza. It was supposed to be an easy serve, but still, no?
That's costly, although they catch a break as Rojas serves outside. Now another opportunity to tie the game. Coach Carlino obviously unhappy with that.
I'm sure Rojas unhappy with that, but you like the way Enciso just encouraged him. That's okay. Get this point.
Labide, dug up by De Pedro. Here comes Cordes. Oh! What defense there. Combination of Torres and Enciso. Cordes was shut out. Block's going to be credited to Enciso. Now has 7.
Oh, you like that wall. But yeah, it was Enciso. Got a hand at that.
This is a 2-point lead for the Troopers. 21-19, third set. Nursidic, yes.
Again, the poker face. It's like nothing happened. Look, you wouldn't have thought that he's just scored a point.
A 1-point game. All-important serve from team captain Jerome Cordes.
All-important serve, all-important set.
Labide, that's off his head. Good save by King. Adaw sets it. Here's Desquitado, rejected, saved by Nursidic. Oh, Torres! That was a freebie. It was up at the net, open block. He could not put it away, and a 2-point run for the Navigators. Tie it at 21.
I mean, wasted opportunity, obviously, on the side of Army. It was already handed in a platter.
Yeah.
And they said no. A lucky break for the Navigators.
So Cordes serving for the lead. Labide. Oh! Nobody there in the corner, and an easy point for Labide to put Army back on top by 1.
I like what he did. I saw his follow through. He really pointed at zone 4. Look at that corner pocket right there. Look at the defense. Just one person.
Speaking of defense, let's see what the Navigators do. Desquitado. There's a net touch. Going to be called against the Troopers. Is there going to be a challenge?
Liberato saying the net didn't move. Check it out. There was a hand in that.
22 all. Anybody set. Labide. Outside. No block touch, says Herbert Matematico, the first referee. And the Navigators on top by 1, forcing Carolino to call a timeout for the Troopers. We'll listen in.
Ngayon, paluin sa kamay. Kung hindi mo kaya may ano, huwag kang magdalawang isip. Palo lang ng palo. Kevin, pasok ng maayos, ha? Maayos. Nico, harap ka, di ba? Pagka kaya, pero pagka hindi, bigay mo. Set mo, ha? Receive muna tayo ng maayos. Receive tayo ng maayos, deliver ng maayos. End tayo ng maayos. Okay, ha? Sige tayo.
Pamaya ko. Armin! Laban na.
They're going to need a stop, Noreen.
What a time for the Navigators to grab the lead here. 23-22. So, yeah, exciting end.
But it's not really, you know, they didn't work for it. Errors here on the attack. And then 2 attacks actually. One from Torres and then one from Labide that went outside.
That's true.
Nursidic serving 23-22. Overpass. And Desquitado gives the Navigators 2 set points here, 24-22.
Well, you cannot give Desquitado that free a gift. He's going to return it with interest.
second and last time out here for Coach Carolino. We'll listen to the troopers.
Gitna lang, gitna. Pasokan mo na maayos. Sino sa harapan?
Kami ni
Pasokan mo na maayos. Anong pasok mo? Back quick. Jello, paluin mo na maayos. PJ, ready ka sa back row. Ha? Ayan yung option mo. Pagka maganda receive, bigay mo sa quick. Pag hindi sumabay, ha? Bigay mo sa quick. Ready ready dalawa. Bigger, pasokan mo na maayos.
Tara.
Well, their receive here has to be near perfect.
All you can hear really, obviously encouragement, but desperation already on the side of Army.
Yeah.
They had it, and you did say 2 errors there, crucial errors.
Good serve.
And a good serve.
Not a good pass. Back row, and Ciso. Ooh, but able to get it through the single block of Guaza. What a huge point there for Mark Enciso. Continues to deliver for the troopers, and Ciso with 8 and a timeout for the Navigators.
Let's talk later.
Okay. Wait. Sino sa harapan?
Si Jade.
Nas. Approach maayos, okay? Approach maayos. One good receive. Sino sa receive? Ikaw?
Kami dalawa ako. Receive kami.
Sige. Sa receive lang mga
Nas, pinahita mo yung Tiger.
Oo, wag na. Malapit na siya. Promise, trust us.
Talikod ito.
Ayun, happy na tayo.
Pag sa is,
Talikod ka. Basta makinig ka, Nas. Makinig ka.
Here's another look at that Mark Enciso point. Guaza, you see, his armpits were at the top of the net, and still the ball went through.
There was some talk between, I think, Nursidik and Guaza, and then I can hear, trust us by the huddle.
All right, Apolinario, where does he go? Back row, Cortez, what a dig by Uy. A push.
Oh!
And Espanso with an excellent save. Desquitado. There's Liberato to the rescue. And 2 set points saved by the troopers. We go to an extended set number 3.
Well, that's hard for you, talking about Army. Look at this set and the trust really Ramirez has for Liberato. Why not? He has been delivering.
Unofficially 15 for Liberato. Here's a serve by Lapide. Cortez off the block. And another set point for the Navigators. 25-24.
Well, we did say this is going to be a good game, and it is proving to be one.
It has not disappointed us yet.
Great rallies, great exchanges.
Apolinario with a serve. Great pass by King. Here comes Liberato, rejected. Guaza with a push. And there it is. 2 straight points for the Navigators. After allowing the troopers to make a little 2-point run to tie the game at 24, they answer right back with 2 straight and win it.
Well, that should pump Guaza up, really. Been struggling the entire match, and that should give him, better feel for today.
back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center for the first game of your Sunday triple header. A little pre-Valentine's treat from Spiker's Turf. The Navigators winning in set 3, a close one and an extended one as well. They're up 2-1. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Well, it was a pretty close third set. Could have gone either way, but really the errors. I think the biggest factor in that third set were the errors.
Yeah.
But again, great game, a great set, great exchanges, great setting, great defense by both teams. So for me, it was very entertaining. What a way to spend our Sunday afternoon now with great volleyball. Look at the numbers here in terms of attacks, just by 2, 15 to 13 in favor of Army, blocks by 1. But look at the errors of Army. That's 10 as compared to 5. More, doubled. Army doubled the Navigators. When we have to mention, 8 of these attacks of these 10 are attack. 8 errors are attacks, off attacks. 8 of the 10 are off attack errors. So that's one thing you need to correct here in the fourth set.
Well, Nas Guaza and the rest of the Navigators a set away from going 4-0 here in the Open Conference. De Pedro with 7. There's Labide 11. Norsidik with 4 points. 2 players for both teams in double digits. Disquitado, Cortes for the Navigators. Liberato, Labide for the Troopers. We're underway. Set number 4. Cortes off the shoulder of Ramirez. You can hear the sound when it hit him. And Ramirez is playing off like it didn't hurt. I feel like it's, it's still stinging up until now. Take a look here.
It's a body shot, really.
Ooh. Oh, and Ciso, that's just wide. But it looked good from up top.
Yeah, I think that was a great set. It was just the execution, the follow through. He was facing, the angle he was facing. That's where he brought it, and it was wide. So, I mean, you can't blame that set or that play. It's just the execution.
But again, these errors. Polinario with another service error. First point for Troopers.
Well, talking about service errors for Iloilo, they already have 12 in this match. Army with 9. So we did say the errors, the service errors of both teams really creeping in. Oh,
underhand set too high. Espanso diving save. Here comes De Pedro. Rojas picking it up. They go back to PJ Rojas. Oh, and Disquitado letting Rojas know, I got you right there.
Yeah, the reaction after that is like, Disquitado is not really known to be a beast, so to speak. But you're right, he will let Ross feel beast mode.
15 for Jade Disquitado. Bilionson. First appearance for him, only scored a point for the Troopers in their last game.
Well, then it's a great set, try to get him involved early on. Get this groove. Better serve.
But a great pass there by Disquitado. Guaza! Uy, keeping it alive. Oh, what an effort. Chance ball here for the Navigators. Apolinario goes back to Guaza. Why not? Back-to-back points. Nas Guaza has 5.
That's a great set by Apolinario. I mean, good defense on the side of Army, keeping that ball alive. But Apolinario knew, the defense was scrambling. Give it back to Guaza.
2-point lead for the Navigators. 4 serving 2. Nice serve. Enciso. Wow. That was a broken play, but Enciso made something out of it.
Well, he has been playing well. Talking about Enciso.
9 already for Mark Enciso. 1-point game. Chance to tie on this serve. Easy pass for Espanso. Oh, Norsidik. 5 points.
Well, well, that hit, at least from my point of view, it's like an unorthodox form. That wind up.
Yeah.
So you thought it was actually not a pretty good set, but because of the wind up, it was a perfect set.
Labide, nowhere to go. Great save by King. Labide, touch pass. De Pedro. They go back to Nursidik. Gets on the line. Back-to-back points for him. He has 6. The middles are getting activated by the Navigators here in set number 4.
You're right. You know, the middles are the ones creating havoc right now for Iloilo. And yeah, I mean, Apolinario just milking them.
3-point lead for the Navigators. And Seesaw back row that is outside.
They have to be careful, talk about Army, not to let this set slip away because you can still force a 5th set.
Coach Carolino shuffling his players as De Pedro warms up to serve. Ariel Balwalwa is in the game for the first time out of Ilocos Norte, former NU Bulldog.
Is he the husband of...
Yep.
Yeah?
Former Lady Bulldog as well.
Kai Pumaseno.
That's right. Off the block, finally, the troopers stop the bleeding.
Well, again, we said they have to be careful. I mean, it's just a 3-point game.
Balwalwa, 2 points in the last game of the troopers. One-handed set. Easy put away. Nursidik is feeling it right now. He has 7. And a 4-point lead for the Navigators. This guy responsible for the last 3 points of the Navigators here in the 4th set.
Sige, continue lang ano. Continue lang. Kaya na ba? Asan si Jay?
Apat yan.
Hey, Navi! Go! Wala pa ha?
Despite being at a disadvantage in terms of height compared to other setters in the league, Kel Apolinario has been embracing his role as he says that what he lacks in height, he makes up for in skills. He also loves this role as he says that he has the chance to make his teammates' jobs easier. It's also an added motivation for him how much Coach Kenneth trusts him, that in crucial minutes of the game, di na daw sinasabi ni Coach sa kanya kung anong kailangan gawin. Coach just trusts him to make the right calls. The Spikers turf is Kel's first big league, and his next goal is to play for the national team. Your thoughts, guys?
Thanks very much, Doreen. 23 excellent sets for Apolinario.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Well, he's not the tallest of setters, but he's playing tall today. He's standing tall.
Liberato with his 17th point of the game. Checking the stats if I have the height of Apolinario. He's just 5'5". Kel Apolinario is 5'5".
Wow. A great leaping ability.
Yeah. 28 excellent sets in the last game, 23 so far today. Disquitado going up and scoring. Jade Disquitado with 16.
Silent points. I mean, he doesn't get much. I mean, we know in terms of skill, he is the first option, but great ball distribution really for the Navigators and Apolinario.
Lead is now 4 for the Navigators. Not a good pass there for Labide. Rojas cross court, picked up, overpassed, and an easy put away for Kevin Liberato once again. 18 already for him.
With some stare down there by Liberato. He's getting comfortable, playing well for Army.
He is the top scorer so far. De Pedro passing. Guaza!
Well, now you can see the game of Guaza coming to life here. I mean, towards the end of the 3rd set and the start of the 4th set.
He has 6 points. 3 of those all here in set number 4. Rojas.
Ad-lib.
Yeah. Oh, Disquitado starting to wax hot. 17 points.
You can see the demeanor of the Navigators. They're now smiling, enjoying. When they were playing tight, you can see that they were tense. But now it's a different team altogether.
And you know, you can tell from the score.
Yeah.
How much better they're playing here. And Seesaw turned back. Rojas. Guaza picking it up. Oh! A little overset there. That's going to be an overreach as Apolinario is a back row player.
I mean, it's great effort though.
Yeah.
Guaza just missed it by a hair.
If it didn't,
Look at that.
if it didn't cross the net, that would have been something for Guaza or Desquitado to play with, but it did, so that's an overreach. Liberato playing so well today, 15 of 24, 63%.
Wow, great numbers.
And he got 3 blocks, 18 points. What an afternoon for Liberato.
Commentary's curse.
But it's all good if you're the Navigators. Get an easy point there. Their lead is 5. Desquitado, 17 points. Cordes with 12.
Great serve.
Enciso, what an angle. Enciso now in double digits with 10.
And I like the improvement of these players, you know. Once they get their confidence and you see the way they're playing, like Enciso's a perfect example. Ooh.
Little help from the net cord. Apolinario sets it up. Cordes has been quiet. 13 points.
Nothing quiet about that. Now, really great ball distribution on the side of Apolinario. Better serve.
Enciso, nowhere to go. What a block there. Norcidic with a rejection. Norcidic with 8.
Well, all aspects of the Navigators game coming to life, really.
Great read by the defense. The Navigators. Timeout for Coach Carolino.
Isipan muna natin. First ball muna natin, ha? Ngayon pag wala receive, meron tayong back row. Pag may back row tayo. Gamit tayong back row, ha? PJ, ready, back row.
Go, kulitin natin.
Live tayo. Live yan!
This is the biggest deficit against the Troopers. Navigators leading by 6.
Well, obviously, Coach Carolina's just, you know, trying to remind the guys we have other options. We have the pipe attack, the back row, so why not use it?
Yeah.
Or use them if they're more than one.
Guaza, after a 14-point performance, a modest 6 so far in the match. Labide off the block. Yes, Labide now with 12.
Well, he's got. We mentioned it already. It sets in the past sets. Really, Labide needs to get more sets here. Good serve.
Underhand set Apolinario to Cortes. Enciso with a dig. Labide sends it over. Cortes picking it up. Back row, Desquitado. That's way outside.
Yeah, mishit there on the side of Desquitado. They can't still afford it, talking about the Navigators, but you don't want, you know, Army, you know how much pride these guys have. So you don't want to give them, you know, life here in the 4th set.
2 straight points for the Troopers. They're within 4. That's short. That run ends on a mini 2-point run, and it's back to a 5-point advantage for the Navigators.
Well, that's gotta hurt. You know, momentum clearly on the side of the Navigators, and then you commit the service error.
Toto De Pedro. Palwalwa with the attack. Cortes dug up by Rojas. Battle at the net. Won by Ramirez, who's trying to pump up the Troopers.
4 for 4 for Ramirez there on the dump. Yeah, it's just a 4-point game. You know, it's not yet as if they already ran away, talking about the Navigators.
That's right. Not a safe lead. Not if you receive like that. So an ace for Balwarwa. And this is the closest the Troopers have been in a while. They are within 3.
And you know the Troopers, they thrive when, momentum shifts like this.
Biggest lead, the Navigators with 6. Much better pass, Espanso. Norcidic, yes! He has 9 already. Wow, Norcidic has really exploded in this set. Coming into the 4th set, he had 4 points. 5 scored here to give him 9, and they lead by 3 here in the 4th set.
Sige, basta pasahan nyo na ng basahan, ha?
Pangat. Hindi pwede pababa, okay? Ha?
Go, tapusin na natin.
Okay. Oh, enjoy. Enjoy. At
Let's go.
Focus. Okay, focus. Hindi mawala yung focus, okay?
Tara.
Enjoy. Hey, Navi! Go!
Let's revisit the standings.
Well, still, three undefeated teams looking to go to the next round. But again, it's still early. A lot of things can happen, throughout this tournament. Some, like we said earlier, some streaks, some upsets can happen. So the final four hasn't yet been set in stone.
19 points for Liberato, and it's a 3-point deficit again against the Troopers. Norcidic, back-to-back points. Sina is now in double digits with 10.
What a set for him, like you mentioned.
Now 6 of his 10 points, all here in set number 4.
It just goes to show the option of Apolinario.
24-year-old Norcidic serving. Rojas, rejected by Guaza.
Yeah, he covered the cross there. Clear path of Rojas' hit.
Let's recheck. Yep, it's Guaza. Guaza with 7 points already, and back to a 5-point cushion for the Navigators.
Great serve.
Little push there by Liberato, dug up by De Pedro. Desquitado with the tip. Easy point. Desquitado with 18.
See the way he sold that?
Yeah.
I mean, total approach, total wind up, and then he just tipped it. Look at this.
Soft touch by the young man makes it a 6-point advantage again. Back to the biggest lead of the Navigators. Back row, Enciso dug up by Norcidic. Battle at the net, and there's going to be a net touch against the Troopers.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah. This is now a 7-point advantage. This is the biggest lead already of the Navigators. Liberato will touch the net here. Whistle by a very quick one by Herbert Matematico as well. Liberato didn't even land yet when the whistle was made.
Oh.
That's over received, and Rojas will score. Rojas.
No pleasantries whatsoever from Rojas there. Apolinario just giving him a smile.
6-point deficit against the Troopers. Barica will check in. Replace Jairo Labide.
Obviously for defensive purposes here. Last push on the side of Army.
Apolinario sets it to Cortez. That's outside. 2 straight errors for the Navigators.
Well, this is when Army, you want to push. Keep the ball in play. Let the Navigators commit the errors.
Underhand set for Apolinario. Desquitado stops the bleeding. Just a mini 2-point run for the Troopers.
Well, yeah, if you have a Jay Desquitado in front, smiling the way he is now, relaxed, although that's bad news for you.
How good can Jade Desquitado be? 19 points already. He's so young at 18 years old. That's outside Apolinario.
Well, still giving life to Army here.
Liberato, 19 points in today's game. Top scorer for the Troopers.
And a good serve.
De Pedro. That's not coming back. De Pedro with 8.
You know, I'm noticing the game of De Pedro. He's not the first option. He's probably the last option in terms of sets. But the way he contributes, defense, serves, you know, I mean, he's the silent operator for the Navigators.
That's outside, but there's a block touch according to Herbert Matematico.
Well, if you have Guaza there, chances are he'll get a hand in that.
Labide returns. Barica will sit down. Still a 5-point deficit against Rojas and the Troopers.
Better serve.
What a great receive. Here comes De Pedro again. De Pedro has been so efficient.
Right? Right?
9 points. And it's not even all power.
It isn't.
For De Pedro. Timeout here for the Troopers.
Patukan mo na maayos. Playan mo ito naman. Go, go, go. Asan tayo?
Receive tayo.
Galing service. Sige, pagbalik. Sige, pasok kami na maayos. Go. Pagbalik. Patong.
Last stand here for the Troopers. Navigators or D-Navigators 2 points away from winning the match.
Well, they're faced with their opponents at 23, talking about the Troopers, so you know, no errors at this juncture.
Guaza with 7. Looking for an ace right there. Biking with a great receive. Here comes Enciso. Saved by Desquitado. Chance ball for the Troopers. Ramirez underhand set. Balwalwa. Yes!
Getting creative there. Talking about Ramirez. He knew that Balwalwa will not be the first person that the Navigators will defend, and true enough, he gets the point.
Still a 5-point deficit against the Troopers. Oh! What a kill there. And it's going to be 6 match points for the Navigators.
And you have the efficient server.
Toto De Pedro. Labide. Oh! And what a way to close it out using their defense. A block on team captain Benjailo Labide, and the Navigators, it's business as usual as they go up 4-0, are undefeated so far in the 2023 Open Conference.
Well, it wasn't perfect. You know, they started out shaky, maybe, like we said, the rust from a week's rest. But what's important is they were able to get their game back and remain undefeated here in the Spikers turf.
There it is, a confirmation of the 4-set win, the Navigators versus Army in a first game of our triple header this Sunday.
Check, mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test.
Siyempre, mahaba ka na naman. Tangina ka.
Still undefeated in the Spikers Turf Open Conference, and taking our first win here in today's triple header is the Navigators Iloilo, and I am here with the best player of the game, Kel Apolinario. Kel, after losing the first set, anong sinabi sa inyo ni Coach? Anong sinabi niyo sa isa't isa that allowed you guys to bounce back in the next 3 sets?
Yung sinabi sa amin na hindi naman kami pumunta dito para magpatalo lang. So, kailangan namin ibalik yung sarili namin para panalunin yung mga natitira pang set. Ayun.
Kel, napaka-consistent mo across all of your 4 games. 14 points, 22 points, 28 points, and now 27 excellent sets rather for this game. What is the secret behind that consistency? What is the secret behind that continuous improvement?
Yung training po na pinapagawa sa amin ni Coach. Patuloy lang po namin sinusundan. So pag sa game na po, nagagawa po namin sila maayos.
Any greetings, Kel?
Binabati ko pala yung family ko sa Australia, Mami Tel, and family. Tapos yung family ko sa Cavite. Si Mama, si Tito ko. Ayun, nanonood ngayon. Baba. Hello. And mamaya, Jopay kami. Jopay!
Thank you and congratulations, Kel, and to the Navigators Iloilo. Back to you, Eric and Noreen.
Thank you, Dorina, and congratulations to Kel Apolinario and the rest of the Navigators. Remain perfect so far in the Open Conference. 4 straight wins and no losses.
Well, he had 27 excellent sets, talking about Apolinario, but he had 2 blocks. If just for the 2 blocks, he's the best player, I'll take it. I'll give it to him.
For a 5-5 setter.
Exactly. Well, you know, the 4th set really, we mentioned the Navigators, just that's their game. That's the game. That's the team we know. They were able to shrug off a slow start, but that's the maturity of a good team in the Navigators. It's not how you start, it's how you end the game.
That's right. An excellent 4-set win for the Navigators as you take a look at statistics of the last set.
See, now that's the numbers you want to see from the Navigators. 16 attacks, 4 blocks, and just 5 errors. We mentioned that is their brand of play, and when they were able to play their brand of volleyball, they prevailed. So a good win, and again, they're still undefeated.
Army, on the other hand, split their last 2 games. They dropped down to 2-2 in the standings after this 4-set loss against the Navigators. Coming up next, the NU Archipelago Builders looking to get their first win as they take on the VNS Griffins, a team that's won only 1 of their last 3 games, thanks to our director, Julius Melo, for Doreen Suway Baguio. Noreen Go, I'm Eric Tipan. Thanks for watching. A couple more games remaining in your Sunday triple header. This is the Spikers Turf on One Sports.